All right, guys, today is the day. It is a big day. Today we are officially dyno tuning the K-swapped S14, coined as the K14 by you guys, or the KSX. I still like KSX. So Tony, where are we going today, buddy?
Hopefully to the moon.
To the moon. We're going to the moon. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is a K24H2, right? It is a stock motor out of a TSX. So this is a stock long block. I did the Type S oil pump, which is a must, and I did the 50-degree RBC VTC gear on it. Besides that, we slapped a 58 precision turbo on it, full TF Works swap kit. I did the supporting D-Works fuel system and a Link Fury ECU with all the supporting sensors. So this thing is set up.
It's set up.
It is set up. So the big question is, what are we gonna make for power, right? That is what everyone's asking. My Instagram was going crazy. Now it is a K series, and these things have proven to make some crazy power untouched. Since we have a turbo on this thing, we could just keep throwing boost at it and making more power, but there's always a limit to it. So where I want to stop today is 450 on pump, right? That's a good, right? 450 is a lot on this chassis, especially with the tiny tires, whatever. So I am extremely fortunate because one of my good friends and a local tuner here, his name is Jamie Marsh, and anyone in the Northeast knows who Jamie is. Legendary tuner, and he's specifically known for the Honda K series. I've seen so many of these setups done by him. I've learned a lot in the process, and I was able to kind of get like a little bit of a head start in the tuning process of all this. Right, so we have the VTEC control, we have the VTC control, we have our boost curve, we have all that, we have our ignition timing, our fuel, all that good stuff, right? So we're gonna go through all that now. This isn't gonna really be a DIY tuning video. If you guys do wanna learn some information on tuning yourself, I actually have my very own link to HP Academy. If you guys never heard of HP Academy, what to do is it's kind of like an online school. And when you hear the word school, it kind of sounds boring. I like to see it as a video series of just dense information on how you could learn how to tune yourself, right? Before even linking up with them, I actually have bought so many of their courses, and it really gave me a fantastic foundation in the tuning to allow me to get deeper into it, and we'll get to this point. So if you guys are interested in all that, they also do engine building, chassis suspension setup, and all that stuff. I'll put the link in the description. Check it out. If it's something you want to learn, cop a course, right?
It's that easy.
It's that easy. So we'll talk more about that later on, but that's my quick plug for today. So today we will be tuning this thing up, and well, the first thing we got to do is let's start getting through the RPMs and getting some type of fuel map and seeing how it goes. And I just want to hear the thing on their boost, so let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
I put the boost limit pretty low for the first run, just trying to be conservative. I put it at like 12 PSI, and it hit that pretty quick, so it looks like we have a little bit stronger wastegate than we thought, or we're getting some creeping, so let's turn that up and see what happens. It hit boost limit again real quick, but look at that, it already made 233 at 4,000. Wow.
Jesus.
388 at what? Wow, 5,600 RPMs? Jesus.
This is making a lot of torque.
It's a small turbo.
I know, but it's still.
We gotta be careful with that one.
Yeah.
But hold on, let me get rid of that first run. 388 horsepower at literally 5,600 RPM. That's crazy. So what happened there was we didn't hit a boost cut that time. It just started to lean out, so I had to lift.
They're out of the refresher that you like, so it's like this is all they got.
Thank you, Don.
You want to hear?
Thank you.
And refresher?
You got a coconut one?
I don't know what that is.
It's the coconut one. Oh God, I'm gonna shit my pants.
So the goal is to just get it to do a full RPM pull, right? Holy shit. What did you think?
428.
428 at 6,200 RPM. So this is the crazy with the K series, right? It's just gonna keep climbing. The power curve is gonna be extremely linear. We see it already. So once again, it got lean up top. This thing wants a lot of fuel, so I had to lift, but we're getting farther. That's a lot of power.
Still got 2,000 more RPMs to go.
Oh, following the same trend, this thing's gonna make 500 on gate.
Not right. I love that.
Why don't you pull out the Jay-Z and you guys could race?
Yeah, only if I could.
Brian. So we got 20 more horsepower. We went 400 RPMs higher. Torque stayed the same, which is great. Yeah. Just keep it 375. You could keep it there.
So we keep going higher in the RPM, we're getting more power. So this is the thing about the K series, right? There's a reason why they could produce so much horsepower is the fact that they carry torque so well, right? Most engines, they produce a lot of torque and the torque kind of slowly falls off, and that will cause the power to be more flat, right? So with the K series, the head is so efficient, it's able to take torque and just carry it the whole way through the rev, which then of course, torque at higher RPM equals higher horsepower, right? That's the equation. And so that's why it's a very linear band, and you can produce so much power because torque is what blows engines apart. It's not horsepower, it's a torque, right?
Too much of it in one area makes everything go boom.
Exactly. So torque is really what you're aiming after. It's not really horsepower. Horsepower is just a condition of torque, right? So the fact that we're able to, 370 foot-pounds of torque, that isn't insane considering, right? And that's why you're able to keep these NA engines somewhat alive. So if we could keep that torque flat, 375, this thing will stay together forever. That was it. That's the number. Yes.
What did that go to?
That's a number right there. 465.
7,200.
465 at fucking 14 PSI. These don't make sense, dude. This is not even that good of a turbo. I like how the power starts to kind of get flat at the top.
Can you make these turn into one chart?
That is insane, dude. Look how much power it wants to make up top.
This thing's making 5 today.
Dude, that is crazy. Most of the time, especially on a small turbo 4-cylinder, the higher you rev it, it'll start to fall off at the top. We just revved it to 8 grand and look, it loved it. It took it and it took off. Wow, these things are crazy.
SR who?
No wonder why everyone loves these things, dude. Do you see this? That's so cool. It sounded so happy at 82, by the way. So without changing the boost, we're not gonna really make too much more peak power. So my goal now is to kind of just clean up the mid-range to get it to hit a little bit harder down here. I mean, honestly, the curve is so nice. It is more aggressive than I thought it was gonna be. The smaller 58 with the 2.4 liter definitely helps, but I think we can get a little bit more on the mid-range here, and we should be good to go. I'm excited to drive it. VTC control is now going on, and this is gonna change the power curve completely. I'm already super happy with how it looks, and this is gonna really change it up. So I might take a couple pulls because it's really gonna mess up the VE table, which is, the fueling table. So let's see what happens. Dude, just from that, I could see this thing is gonna take off. Do you hear it?
Yeah.
I gotta put a lot.
It sounds more like a...
Dude, it wants to take off right now. It sounds better with it, doesn't it?
Like cleaner.
It sounds cleaner with it, yeah. Holy well, dude, look at the difference.
Oh, man. Whoa, what is that? 442 foot-pounds of torque.
That's dangerous. That is crazy. That changed the car entirely.
20 less horse.
Okay, look at this. Look how much more we picked up down low. This is what, like right here, this is what really shoots you into your seat, right? That's what like kicks the down low torque. That's dangerous. We gotta be careful, right? Because this is where you start throwing rods, is when the torque comes in fast, heavy, and at low RPMs. Cylinder pressures, crazy. Piston wants to go nuts. So we're gonna try and dial this back just a little bit. I know I could take it, but man, that is insane. So as you guys can see, the power curve is a little all over the place. This is a combination of sloppy fueling and the right time to swing out the VTC, right? So the goal is to now bring this torque right here down just a little bit and try and make it flat. That's what I wanna see. So let's try it again, but insane. Let's get after it.
more boost.
So he gonna give her more boost.
No. Can't be having that. Oh man, she does want to make more boost. That was a little all over the place that time. So issue number one. So I just did that last pull. The fuel was all crazy, and I got a warning on the screen that said maximum duty cycle on the injector is reached, which they shouldn't be because we have plenty of injector, all that good stuff. So I was looking, the fuel pressure ended up being static, which means it didn't change. And what should be happening is as boost increases, so should the fuel pressure. And it wasn't, so I was digging into it, and it looks like the vacuum fitting I had on the intake right here that was feeding the fuel pressure regulator, it's not actually working. There's a hole in it, but it's clogged, or there's like a chamber that's not fully drilled through or something. So I have no vacuum source for the intake other than what I have for the brake booster. So I'm probably just gonna undo the brake booster for now, put that to the fuel pressure regulator so I can get this tune done, and I won't have power brakes for now. Then I gotta take the intake off, drill it out, or do whatever. Not super pumped about that, but gotta do what you gotta do.
That'll do.
So I'm trying to keep the torque down in the mid-range right there. I try to use timing to do so, but if you do that, it actually increases boost. We're at that corner marker, so I'm pulling back on the VTC to keep the torque down. Hopefully we can get this thing nice and smooth. So I raised the boost limit thinking we were right on the edge of it, and it just let itself boost pretty aggressively. So we just made 480 horsepower at 5 grand, 460 foot-pounds torque at 53. That's dangerous. This is an NA motor. That is dangerous. So this poor little thing, dude. Now the next problem is, why is it building so much boost? So the last pull, I just bypassed the boost controller, right? And it looks like it was doing us dirty the entire time, because that time we only made 11 PSI. It's a lot different, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that being said, it still made 430 horsepower at 11 PSI. That's not bad. And 400 foot-pounds of torque, right? That sounds a lot more reasonable. Instead of trying to figure out the boost controller right now, let's try and get this thing dialed in on gate, real heavy hitting, so we have a really good foundation, and then we'll deal with it after. That sounds good? Mm-hmm. We kind of have to redo most of the tune, right? Kind of. We did learn a lot from the first couple pulls because the boost was staying consistent then, but after a while, the boost was kind of all over the place, and that's where we saw those crazy maps, right? I hope you guys aren't too confused right now, because that really screws everything up. But let me get a couple pulls down, and then we'll do some teaching. So a couple pulls later, we get the results that we probably should have saw before the boost controller screwed us, right? So the yellow is our first run on gate, then the purple was the second, and the brown was the last. So each time you could see, I kind of got a better understanding of what's happening. We were able to actually increase power overall, almost everywhere, and able to bring the torque up and just basically smooth out the graph, right? That's what you want to see. Every time you see a pull, you use what you learned on your last pull to then benefit the next pull. So what you usually like to see is pulling back the VTC advance at the higher RPMs, right? Because the overlap becomes too small, you start blowing through the cylinder, and you start to lose power. I tried to hold off, and as you could see, it dips up top, but then I decided to let it ride, and it actually loved it everywhere. So the VTC is fully advanced all the way throughout the pull, which is pretty crazy to see. Usually you do not see that. So even though it is a static, unchanging boost level, you see the power steadily increasing. That's what I want to see. 469 horsepower, that might be the number, and that's not bad.
That's a good amount.
That's a good amount, and it's living there all freaking day. 400 foot-pounds of torque, that doesn't make me sweat too heavily. That like 500 foot-pounds of torque that we like accidentally hit, I feel so bad for this K-Series. I am so sorry, little K-Series.
Keep them rods in there.
Keep them rods in there. I'm so sorry. I felt real guilty on that one, but so be it. It's part of the process. So
469.
Ew, wait.
No way! I didn't even look at it. I swear I didn't.
Dude, I'm telling you, I put an Instagram poll up and I said, how much power should we make tomorrow tuning this thing? It was either 420 or 469.
I love that. My guy's nice. Hell yeah, that's sick.
That's so sick.
Ready?
Yeah, 11 PSI? That don't make sense. Well, probably 12.
That's impressive.
That don't make sense.
You're probably not gonna keep this in, but SR who? Alright, so, little test run. I'm expecting you to do a burnout, Dan. Getting a little excited. RJ, watch out! There he goes, fucking reversing. Stop reversing it! Bro, you love the reverse gear.
Dude, it's
how's it feel?
deceiving, because you're like, I was like, did it do anything? And
It's spinning?
What?
Is that what you were thinking?
Well, I was like, it just like took off. And I'm like,
Wait a sec.
Wait a sec, did it even do anything? And I plug second, I'm like, oh, it's just blowing the tires off.
Yeah, you're just smoking them.
Because the drivetrain doesn't sound like it's under any stress. Like, you know how usually before you like start spinning wheels, you feel your drivetrain just like bang through it?
Yeah.
The K-Series just like, la-di-da-di-da. Like, just roast it, right? They're spinning, right?
Oh yeah.
Does it look aggressive?
Oh, yeah.
Because in here it's just like, I'm just driving.
No way with this suspension.
No, but not the suspension. I'm saying the drivetrain, it doesn't notice it. Wow. Okay, so the non-power brakes makes it a little intimidating to do a pull. But I want to do it again. That was cool.
Get it above $5 grand. That's fucking sick. It's a big moment.
This thing's gonna end up at Thompson.
No. Cannot go to Thompson. That's so sick. That was fucking sick.
Dude, I wasn't ready for I wasn't ready for the no power steering. I'm like, oh. Dude, that feels insane.
That's sick.
Power brakes, power steering, and we'll be good to go. She whips the
She
S14 diff.
She whipped.
It locked it good, right?
Mm-hmm.
From my angle.
How did it see looking? I can't wait to see the footage.
It looks sick. I was hyped.
Until you like got to the end of your truck, it was just lightly gliding sideways.
Insane. It's a little intimidating without the power steering.
Is it registered?
No, it's not. I slept.
Man.
Well, I know I need to go get it registered ASAP. Dude, I want to go like do a highway pull. It's crazy because like I've been in a lot of Turbo K cars, like front wheel drive cars, and most guys use pretty big turbos, right? So they can make that big peak horsepower number. But you wait for it. You wait for that power band. This thing with the small turbo making 450 hits so much harder than like it hits so much harder than those big peak power cars. Like it just comes in and goes.
Which is more your style anyway.
That's that street car style.
That's it.
Wow. That's cool. That feels nuts. Can't wait to cause your JZ makes the same power, right?
Yeah, damn near.
So I can't wait to line them up. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool race.
Let's do it. A little friendly
race for pinks.
Hold the brakes!
Brian here, it's too slippery. You like it? Yeah, I just can't wait to rip on it, so we'll get this, I would say let's go on the road, but we're already under the radar around here, so.
I have an S14 plate.
Big victory. Big victory.
I want to go.
Yeah, it does sound like a Honda, huh? Do it again? There's a rattle and it might be my fault. I haven't heard it back here like that. That's cool.
It sounds good.
That's cool.
Good.
Well, there it is, boys. Just a K-Series.
That's how it's done.